I want you to close your eyes for a second and think about the last time you slept a full 8 hours without waking up in the middle of the night with a knot in your stomach. Think about the feeling of opening your mailbox, seeing a white windowed envelope, and not feeling an immediate spike of adrenaline and fear. If you are currently struggling with overwhelming debt, I know exactly what you are telling yourself every single night. You sit at your kitchen table at 2 a.m., looking at numbers that simply do not add up, and you whisper to yourself, I failed. I failed my family. I failed my kids. I failed my future. And if I file for bankruptcy, I am admitting defeat to the entire world. If that is where your mind is right now, I need you to listen to me very carefully. You need to stop. You need to stop punishing yourself for a situation that has grown entirely beyond your control. Filing for bankruptcy does not mean you failed. It means you are human, it means you hit a wall, and it means you are smart enough to use the legal tools provided by the law to protect your future. I'm Sean Quinlan, a bankruptcy attorney here in Pennsylvania, and today we are going to talk about the profound psychology of debt, the reality of economic hardship, and why filing for bankruptcy is actually a sophisticated, strategic business decision for your household. The corporate double standard, how the wealthy view bankruptcy. To understand why bankruptcy is not a moral failure, we have to expose the massive double standard that exists in American society today. When a major national corporation faces a financial crisis, whether it's due to a shift in the market, a supply chain disruption, or a massive lawsuit, what do their corporate executives do? Do they sit in a dark room feeling overwhelmed by shame? Do they pawn their office furniture or raid their employees' health insurance funds out of a sense of moral obligation to their creditors? Absolutely not. They immediately schedule an emergency meeting of the board of directors, they hire top-tier bankruptcy counsel, and they file a corporate Chapter 11 bankruptcy petition in federal court. They openly announce to Wall Street, we are restructuring. We are legally wiping out our unpayable debts, canceling bad leases, and positioning our company to be highly profitable moving forward. And how does the financial world react to that corporate filing? Do they point fingers and call the executives moral failures? No. The stock market often goes up. The financial media calls it a savvy, necessary, strategic move to preserve equity and protect the corporation's future. So let me ask you a profound question. Why on earth do we apply a completely different standard to you, the individual American taxpayer? Why is it considered a brilliant business move when a multi-billion-dollar airline or retail giant wipes out its debts, but it is considered a deep personal shame when a hardworking nurse, a teacher, or a construction worker in Pennsylvania needs to do the exact same thing for their household? The answer is simple. The credit card companies want you to feel that shame. They have spent 40 years cultivating a culture of guilt because guilt is what keeps you paying them. They want you to think that you are bound by a sacred moral oath to pay back a credit card balance at 30% interest, even if it means your children go without proper health care, even if it means you can't afford home repairs, and even if it means you are completely destroying your own retirement security. The systemic traps, math versus morals. Let's look at the cold, hard mathematics of modern consumer debt. The credit reporting system and the banking industry like to pretend that financial distress is always the result of bad character or personal indulgence. But let's look at how the math is actively rigged against you. If you have $20,000 in credit card debt at an average interest rate of 24%, and you make only the minimum monthly payment required by the bank, do you know how long it will take you to pay off that balance? It will take you approximately 28 years, and you will end up paying the bank over $5,000 in pure interest on top of the original $20,000 you borrowed. That is not a fair financial system. That is an economic quicksand trap designed to ensure that once you fall in, you never get out. When you are caught in that trap because of a sudden job loss, an unexpected divorce, or a severe medical issue, you aren't dealing with a moral problem. You are dealing with a purely mathematical problem. If your monthly essential expenses, your mortgage, your car insurance, your utilities, and your food equal $3,000 a month, and your take-home pay is $3,500, but your credit card minimum payments are $800 a month, your household is operating at a constant deficit. No amount of budgeting, no amount of cutting out coffee, and no amount of personal guilt will ever change that math. This is exactly why the United States Bankruptcy Code exists. The federal government did not create bankruptcy to reward bad behavior. They created it because they realized that an economy cannot function if its citizens are permanently paralyzed by unpayable debt. If a massive segment of the population is spending every single dollar just trying to service old interest balances, they aren't buying homes, they aren't starting new businesses, they aren't investing in their children's education, and they aren't contributing to their local Pennsylvania communities. Bankruptcy is an economic reset button that injects life back into the economy by freeing consumers from a cycle of permanent debt servitude, reclaiming your narrative and moving forward. It is time for you to completely change the narrative in your head. Filing for bankruptcy is not an act of surrender. It is an act of profound courage and responsibility. It is the moment you stand up and say, I am taking control of my life. I am no longer going to let multi-billion-dollar financial institutions dictate my mental health, my marital stability, and my children's future. I am choosing to use the legal rights granted to me by the law to protect my family's economic survival. Think about what happens when you wipe that financial slate clean. You are instantly transforming your future. The money that used to vanish into the black hole of credit card interest can now be used to build a real emergency savings fund. It can be used to pay your mortgage on time, to invest in your retirement, and to restore peace to your home. I have guided thousands of families through the bankruptcy process in Pennsylvania, and I can tell you with absolute certainty the overwhelming emotion my clients feel on the day their discharge order arrives is not shameful. It is not an embarrassment. It is absolute, profound, life-altering relief. They tell me they can finally look at themselves in the mirror again, that their relationships have improved, and that they feel like they have finally been given their lives back. You do not have to carry this heavy psychological burden for another day, and you certainly do not have to navigate this complex legal system alone. The law is there to protect you, but you have to be the one to take that first decisive step toward your financial freedom. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning without that suffocating weight on your chest, knowing that your future is finally secure and your family is completely protected. That version of your life isn't just a distant dream, it is an achievable reality, and it starts with a single conversation. Let's stop the sleepless nights, put an end to the endless cycle of stress, and rewrite your financial story together. Your fresh start is waiting, and it begins right now. If you are tired of carrying this heavy burden of unearned shame, if you are ready to stop punishing yourself and start solving the math problem once and for all, I am ready to stand by your side. Click the link below in the description or visit our website right now to schedule a completely free, 100% confidential strategy session with our legal team. We will look at your financial picture without an ounce of judgment. We will answer your questions, and we will help you claim the legal fresh start you are fully entitled to under the law. Please share this video with someone who is currently suffering in silence. Give it a thumbs up if it helps change your perspective, and subscribe for more empowering financial advice. Remember, your debt does not define your worth. I'll see you in the next video.